My name is Glennie Kindred, and what am I? Who am I? I don't know. I'm a person that loves trees, and I'm a person who writes books and draws trees. Yeah, I draw other things, but mostly I draw trees. I love trees so much.
What is it about trees?
I think it's the way they make me feel. So as soon as you step into tree energy, I feel so much more rooted and connected and myself, really. And I just love that. I love that feeling that being with trees gives me, and I thank them for that. I think one of the early moments was in my 20s. So I was a city girl, but we went out to Sherwood Forest all the time, played amongst the big old oak trees. But I think and then I moved out of the city, and I wanted to learn how to draw. I couldn't draw, still drew like a 10-year-old, I thought. And I wanted to learn how to draw, and I sat with some big old trees. That was my first, a big old oak. And the tree didn't move, and I sat there. And I was able to return day after day and sit in the same spot and just drew, rubbed out, until in the end, there it was. And that became a passion, drawing old trees. And what I began to notice was each different species of trees and where I was. I had this relationship with the trees that was different to each different species. Like the big old oak, the big old 400-year-old oak I worked with in the first place was very stilling. I was able to anchor and find that deep-rooted ability to keep going. I think that's what it gave me. Keep going, keep rubbing out, keep going, you'll get there. And then I moved on to twisted old hawthorns, where there was a lot of those that had been hedge, part of the enclosures, hedging. I came to later realise, but they were old twisted trees, and their energy was so sparkly and so fey, and I saw little people. I could just see them. In the twisted bark of the trunks, and that kind of opened up a whole new thing with I guess what I now call the other world, the interface that we have with the world beyond what we see and what we think we know. So so each tree species gave me something else and gave me a different experience and feeling. So that was the beginning of the journey. I began writing little handwritten books, and I think I was able to just express. Because at that time there wasn't an awful lot of information about all this, so I was kind of trying to combine the gathering of surface information and the sharing of my experiences, which it was not surface at all. It was more finding my way to that more intuitive connection with nature that we've lost, or we're finding our way back to. I think the most important thing is to just spend time with trees, because trees are very generous beings, and they if you greet a tree, you take the time, and you have to take the time with trees because they're very slow. That's one of the great lessons they taught me, was to slow down to sit and be. Leave the phone behind. Walk and find that sense of stillness in you. And if we can actually sit with trees help us to realize that we are not separate at all. So I think my early experiences of sitting drawing with trees was enough to slow me down so that I was then able to receive from the trees. And trees are constantly in relationship with everything around them. And if you as a human go and sit amongst that, then you're part of the everything around them. And relationship happens. And relationship is real experience. And once you've really experienced something, you know it. It's not like reading about it. So you just have to get out there and spend time. Well, I think that the obvious answer to what's my medicine is trees. Trees have been my medicine, and on so many levels they've helped me find that inner connection, and they've really helped me find my connection to the natural world around me. And so in the early days they helped me find my way into all their herbal healing qualities, because every tree has physical healing properties, medicinal properties, and every tree has this great wealth of metaphysical healing properties. And once you make a connection to one species, then your connection to that species connects to all the species. And so I feel blessed with this wealth of like tree friends, and if you make connection to special trees, then they are your medicine, and you know when you need to be with them. And if you can find them in your locality and walk and spend time with them, when you know what I need is to sit with whatever tree it is that gives you that something that you need in that moment, that's it's such a powerful medicine, and simple. And it's it's our own relationship, embodied relationship, not learnt from books. Well, I think the whole festival scene is important, because it's got a whole, I mean, I began festivals in my 20s, and the revelation to be camping out on the ground, lighting fires. And I think all the festivals, the great growth of the festival scene has been just amazing, because all these young people, young and old, families and interconnected families of friends, all camping and being together on the land is hugely important for our well-being. That's good medicine. And all the people you meet and all the interconnections and the family, our tribe, who are making our way back to an interconnected relationship with nature and an interconnected relationship with the whole of life on earth. And we're re-gifting ourselves that connection, where we've been encouraged through fear and religion and all kinds of other things to be disconnected. So here we are, all of us, all the festival tribe, making our way back, meeting people, making connections, making relationship. And very often they're in beautiful places like here at Medicine, where there are old trees that you can go and sit with. beautiful, absolutely beautiful. My heart sings with it all.
Amazing. Brilliant.